And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Whew, I do apologize for that extended break, but we have returned with the upper bracket semifinals. The entirety of the upper bracket quarterfinals has concluded. We have all four matches wrapping up. We, of course, were covering Aristry versus ArT. Alongside them, we have the conclusion of Cristiano and Papi, Geralton Trifax, and Rodin and Spirit. We have our top four initially here in the upper bracket quarterfinals. And we're jumping into our next series, Spirit versus ArT. We just covered ArT taking down Aristry, but how does he compare to the best Terran in all of Poland? And here we go, spawning in the top left-hand corner of Oceanborn. We have our blue Terran player representing Team Na'Vi. It is Spirit. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the Polish Protoss player, the red Protoss player representing the Platinum Heroes. It is ArT. Here we go. Again, our PVT has a command. Spirit is coming in as the heavy favorite. Now, Spirit was suspiciously absent. For those that are curious, he was not here in the... He is a House Galactic Battle champion. He is #1 champion. But in the second iteration of this tournament, he was missing. He was MIA. But now he's back. He's back to try to correct the wrongs that were made and try to claim this win for himself. But can he make it through ArT? Because ArT is here debuting for the first time in House Galactic Battle. He was not here in the first or second iteration, but ArT is here for the third one, popping off with a proxy across the map. Okay, ArT has been very frisky, has been very aggressive throughout the entire day today, even popping off a little bit on stage as well. But we'll see how he does perform against Spirit. For the time being, we do have a gateway across the map. Should be to chrono out our first Zealot, Adept into Stalker, into just aggression to delay the expansion of Spirit. We'll see if he can. We'll see if he can disrupt Spirit's opener here. Spirit is going for an economic opener CC on the low ground. So Spirit is being quite economic early on, which is ideal for ArT. ArT will delay, will confirm. Zealot is being chronoed as we speak, and we're going to be reinforcing with not just the Zealot, but with Adepts. Oh boy. The CC is confirmed. Again, ArT, I'm sure, is feeling pretty good about this game state. The Zealot has arrived, and the Zealot is looking to make its way to that CC and delay. Maybe even force a cancel. You know, there is a Marine. Do have our initial Marine here to defend. Second Zealot's on the way. Spirit going to be scouting. Spirit, he will find the pylon. Yeah, the pylon is scouted. It is confirmed. Spirit is now aware. Pulling down to their SCV. Does pull away. And now ArT has to pull the trigger. Is making his way towards the natural. Bunker has been thrown down, and the CC is cancelled. And a big moment here for ArT, already doing so much damage. Canceling the command center, forcing it to be remade. Bunker is halfway done. The secondary wall behind this. Tech Lab is going to fall, though. Yeah, the Tech Lab will crumble. Once again, a good pick off here from ArT. Takes down the Tech Lab, delays the expansion quite heavily, but won't get much more than that. As the bunker is now done, and Spirit should be able to hold on. I say that, though, the SCV is going to fall as well. Okay, we do focus on SCV. Stalker going for another Worker, if at all possible. Gets a couple of shots off. Worker does escape. And behind this, ArT is going to be following up with a Robo. Okay, it's going to be a Robo follow-up. With this, we can go into a War Prism to try to go for War Prism Harass. Could see ArT try to be even more aggressive here. Does get another Stalker out. First Cyclone, gets a couple of shots off, takes down the Zealot. Zealot does fall. But not much more than that. But Spirit is contained to one base. It's on ArT to make that, or to keep that going. I'm curious, with this Robo, with this Twilight Council, is ArT willing to open up Dark Shrine? That would be crazy. That would be wild. Also, if you're in the chat, I believe predictions may have closed by now. Or predictions will soon be open in the chat, so you can place your bets on who you think will take the series. Yeah. Are available. Cyclone getting a couple of shots off. Doesn't quite get the Stalker. Meanwhile, the Twilight Council is done, and shows what you got. Is it the Dark Shrine? I hope it is. What's it? It's gonna be Blink. Okay. It's gonna be Blink instead. I mean, I would have loved the idea of a Dark Shrine just because the game state or the economy is so in shambles for Spirit, is heavily muling to catch up. Alas, it's going to be Blink instead. Spirit establishing his natural base, getting it up and running. ArT even getting it up and running. And ArT has 2 gates behind this. Oh, who wants a Cyclone? Up! What a mess! Gets it, just barely. Cyclone does go down. And here we go. ArT's going to be dropping towards the main. Getting an SCV, not bad. Gets 2 even. 2 SCVs go down, not a single Stalker falls. Nice pickles here out of ArT. We'll dip away. Third base now in production. Now in production. Just trying to take it, or trying to gain a greater economy here compared to Spirit. Is getting there. Splitting up his forces, dropping towards the natural. And we'll get 2 more SCVs. Tank barely out of position, going for the turret as well, doesn't quite get it. But nice pickles here from ArT. Once again, 2 more SCVs, another big warp in. Behind this, we have our splash damage of choice. We're not going into Colossus, but that is a Temple Archives on the way. Should be Storm. Storm, Archons, Charge Lots, it's all on the horizon here. A massive gateway army for ArT. And Spirit is struggling. He's trying to hold on. And so far, it does have a tank in the main, does have a tank in the natural. Does have a nice spread of tanks. Despite that, Depot goes down. Spirit still contained. Now, eventually with Stim, Spirit should be able to break out and take a third, but until then, he's still up against the wall. Alright, going for the middle line, tanks in position. Oof, yeah, big tank shots going off. Stim is finishing up in 5 seconds, but the Prism does barely get away. And by the time Spirit moves out, Storm is going to finish. It's already more than halfway done. Should finish up just in time. ArT is building up back at home. Force the blink away. Means, oh, the Stim! Oh my god, ArT flew to goes to the sun and he does get burned. Massive pick off. Prism goes down. Now ArT's a little bit too careless there with his movement. Not quite respecting the main army. Is called out. Thankfully, though, we have plenty of High Templar already ready. Prison's being rebuilt. Scan does reveal the High Templar. Now Spirit is aware of the storm. Spirit, he knows. Does know. Some coming in. Looking to move out, but Spirit likewise is in position. The Stim! Oh my god! He wants it! Oh, this time we have the Storm. Storm is ready. Is revealed. Tanks are exposed! And Charge Lots dive in. They catch both tanks. Mine shot going off. Nice reaction out of ArT. It does avoid the mine shot for the most part. And we'll keep pushing. Has 4 High Templar. Has 4 Storms available at the same time. Drop across the map into the mineral line. Spirit getting some counter damage. Big mine shot on the Zealots. Very nicely done. But he's forced to pick up. Forced to get out. ArT race back home. Oof. Yeah, a bit of an overreaction from ArT. Everything turns back around. Overcharge will minimize losses. As the medevac does escape. Behind this, ArT's being quite cheeky, moving out with the High Templar. Doesn't quite storm yet. There we go. On 2 Marines. Gets 1. But it's still at least containing Spirit on 2 bases. Third CC is now done. Soon to be taken. Soon to be landed on location. And as Spirit takes a third, ArT is already building on Colossus. Like, ArT has just been so assertive and so intense this game, and yeah, it's really impressive to see that he's kind of forcing Spirit to respond to him instead. Spirit has yet to recover, but he's getting there. You know, ArT is on 4 bases, on 71 workers. Spirit going for a double drop. We have a Widowmine drop on the right. We have a double drop on the left. Let's see what Spirit can get done. He is going in. Takes on the pylon. Which means ArT is at least aware of the drop. He's getting ready, getting in position. In a head-on fight, I do favor ArT's army, but it's not going to be about that. Yeah, the move out is spotted. The mine! Up! Massive connection. Yeah, the prism is low. That's an expensive war prism as well. And 2 more Widow Mines set up, 3 more Widow Mines even. But as the main army moves out, mine drop towards the natural. Boys being pulled away, a lot of damage being dealt. 4 probes go down. We saw that double drop as well. Up! Oof, 11 probe kills. ArT is committed. And Spirit is not even home. Like, there's almost nothing here. Send it, Papi, send it. Spirit is going for the base trade. I mean, he knows. He knows he cannot fight the main army. And ArT is late to the base trade. And Templar going down. ArT pushing in. Now we realize how little there is to defend. But it might be too late. As Spirit is setting up in the main. Meanwhile, the natural goes down. Third under fire. Overcharge gets popped. Nice EMP. The storms are brutal. Oh my god, the storms! The storms take down the reinforcements. And ArT will break into the main. But the question becomes, does he recall? Will he recall back home? Boys being pulled into the Archon. Ooh, brutal. 51 SCVs go down. Spirit going into the main. Hitting the third. And Spirit, he does evacuate with his SCVs. Does get away. CC's under fire, and Spirit, he does lift every single building. Again, this base trade was the best chance that Spirit had, and so far he did well. Like, he was the first to initiate the base trade despite ArT being in position. And Spirit has handled this very well. Upgrades are finishing. Yeah, 2-2 upgrades will complete. Big moment. ArT still has a base, and there's the recall. He's coming back home. He does race back home. And I still favor ArT's army. I also appreciate ArT. He doesn't over-respond, doesn't overreact. Taking another expansion. Defending his bases. Getting Widow Mine. Medevac as well. And we'll see if Spirit can break out. Does have his own base up and running. He has kept 3 orbitals alive. And he's working towards Cloak Banshee. Okay. Cloak Banshee's on the way. See ArT trying to break into his own main. Never goes off. Creates an opening. Doesn't go for it. ArT double expanding. But ArT's expansions are very, very spread thin. As he does find the last orbital. Or the mining base, I should say. The most important mining base. Widow Mine is set up. The prism. The prism. Oh my god. They're retargeting. Bay is going down. Robo as well. Spirit, he's denied mining here at his at his mining base. And ArT collapses in. And Spirit, he cannot fight this. He has to get the hell out of here. Forced to pick up. Forced to boost away. Meanwhile, the first Cloak Banshee has arrived. But Cloak was not researched. It didn't finish. No. Cloak didn't finish for Spirit. Cloak was denied. Just a regular Banshee. These bases still looking a little bit exposed. Zelt's moving out. See Spirit reestablishing his natural. Banshee will come across a fresh mining base. No cannons, no shield batteries. Nexus going down. Never goes off. Up! Disruptor goes down. Oh, but the storms are brutal. Still a better trade for the Protoss. Oh my god, insane storms! Takes out the main army. And Spirit barely has anything left to work with. SCVs have been going down across the map. The production is still under fire. GG gets called. It's just too much, and ArT takes game number 1. GG. Oh my god. ArT popping off here today. She took down Geralt in the group stage, and now he's up 1-0 versus Spirit. Oh boy. I mentioned earlier, I was looking forward to Spirit having a series against Cristiano. Cristiano, of course, is the reigning champion, and I would have loved to have seen him up against Spirit, but with ArT's form, if he can keep this up, we might never see it. We might never see Cristiano versus Spirit. ArT might deny it. He might just deny it instead. Here we go. As we're getting ready for game number 2. And ArT is 1 game away from making it into the upper bracket finals. Oh boy. The pressure is on. Now, as a reminder, it all started with ArT taking momentum, any kind of momentum away from Spirit. It started with a proxy gateway against a Rax Expand. ArT did an amazing job at just punishing the economic opener of Spirit, punishing it, containing him on 1 base, denying the 3rd, containing him on 2 bases. Like, Spirit just never able to really get into the mid game, was never able to really stabilize, which is why I do think the base trade was the best chance, was the only chance that Spirit had to win the game. It was close, but despite the advantage that Spirit had in getting into the base trade, despite the fact that he was a little bit faster to get into it as well, was still not enough. And ArT was still able to take it in the end. Still able to take it. And now we're getting ready for game number 2. Let's go. Us girls, we are jumping into game 2. It's going to be on site Delta. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of site Delta, we have our red Polish Protoss player representing the Platinum Heroes, leading the series 1-0, 1 game away from making it into the next round. It is ArT. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Polish Terran player, the blue Terran representing Na'Vi. It is Spirit. Here we go. We're getting into our second game. And already, very different opener. It's going to be a gateway back at home for ArT. This time there is no proxy. Meanwhile, I'm sure Spirit is going to be undeterred, and I'm sure we will be seeing another gate expand. Or I should say, Rax expand from Spirit. Despite what happened in game 1, I'm sure he's a little more comfortable here on site Delta to get into a more economic game. I'm sure he is more comfortable. Till then, we're calming things down. Do have our gateway being set up here by ArT, soon to be getting into our tech of choice. And we'll see how ArT does approach game number 2 here. Now, the other important thing to bear in mind is that ArT has no reason to hide any builds anymore, because we're past the group stage and Spirit is the only Terran player in the playoffs. So yeah, ArT, if he was preparing for this offline event, if he was preparing specific builds for Terran, for Spirit, he can just show off everything here and now. And I mean, game 1 was very prepared, was very specialized as well. There were so many layers and so many steps to game 1, and ArT executed it beautifully. Now here in game 2, what do you have for us? What do you have for Spirit? Here we go. That's the other thing to bear in mind is that I know that players like Geralt and Spirit were focusing on WTL coming into this weekend, but players like ArT, Papi, Cristiano, they've been getting ready for this event. This is what their focus has been on, not WTL. And we have our tech of choice, Stargate. It's going to be a Stargate opener from ArT. Spirit back at home. Getting into his own factory. Again, it was a Rax expand into a more delayed factory instead. So once again, economic opener. But this time, Spirit is able to embrace his natural safety bunker on the low ground just in case. As Spirit does run into the initial units. I believe Spirit was unable to scout the tech though. Yeah, unable to gain access to the main. And ArT is going for a Phoenix. Okay, it is going to be a Phoenix opener here from ArT. Initially Phoenixes. Meanwhile, Spirit getting into his own 1/1/1, working towards what looks to be mine drops. Okay. The mine drops on the horizon here. Reaper dips into the main. Checking the vision, the Reaper barely does not scout the tech. It's barely out of vision. Spirit is in the dark. Hellion going for the dive, but is going to be denied. Spirit has no idea what's going on. Is initially taking the defensive stance, but is committed into the Widowmine drop. Oh boy. Okay, it's going to be a double mine drop. Behind this, Safety Cyclone and Viking. Which makes sense. It looks like the Phoenixes have been revealed. Scanned into the main does confirm. Now Spirit knows. ArT barely does miss the drop. Barely does miss it. ArT is looking for the medevacs. Looking for the drop play. Spirit has laid a trap, by the way. He's hoping to catch out the Phoenixes, but ArT did miss the drop. So, is a little bit in the dark. Doesn't know where the trap is. The medevac is even. As Reaper catches a probe, third base getting up and running. ArT's going Phoenix into Colossus. Something more standard, more tried and true. Phoenix Colossus from ArT. And Spirit is going for the drop towards the natural. He's looking to drop in. See if he can. Depth shades continue. ArT does spot the third CC. Now he's aware there's no 2-base all in. ArT should be feeling pretty comfortable. Embracing more Colossus. Getting towards Extend Double Lance. Widowmine drop is still poised to dive in. Spirit might just be waiting for a bit of a distraction. Waiting for ArT to be aggressive or for Spirit to move out. Before going in with the Widowmines. And the Azura does confirm everything. Does spot the additional Raxes. Does spot the Stim, of course, being researched. The Bio Army. Third base now being taken. And I don't think ArT can really do much about the third. Has a Colossus, yes, but still, Extend Double Lance is halfway done. We don't really have much to work with. ArT is still pinned back home. And Spirit is setting up. Phoenix is coming in from behind. Going for the mineral line. Getting some SCVs. 3, 4 SCVs going down. And the mule as well. Very nice damage, and that was a sign. Phoenix is out of position, and the Widowmine drop is coming in. That was what Spirit was waiting for. But quick reaction out of ArT. Does pull away. Does pull away in time. Mine shot takes down one probe. And, oh, the retargeting. Oh, he's popping off. Phoenix says they will shut down the medevac. And the mine shot is denying so much mining time. There we go. One more probe goes down. But denied so much mining time in the main. Despite that, ArT does defend. And now we can get into our mid game. 3 base versus soon to be 4 base. But Spirit is now able to more comfortably embrace this kind of main army. Marines, Marauders, tanks behind this. Meanwhile, ArT still building up himself. No further splash damage yet, just Colossus. We've yet to really see a big investment into Storm or a second Robo. Once the 4th base gets up and running, we should be working in that direction. Either double Disruptor production or Storm. We'll see. We'll see what ArT goes for. is going to be rotating. It's going to be rotating around. Link halfway done. We're getting into 2-2. Still just building up. It's been a more passive mid game here. I mean, sure, we had some drop play. We had a little bit of harass here and there, but for the most part, the main armies had just been chilling back at home, and we're just waiting for these big power spikes. The power spike for Spirit is Ghosts. Ghosts are now on the way, and once we have a handful of Ghosts, we can move out. Meanwhile, ArT is just building up towards Disruptors. There it is. Second Robo is now on the way, now getting into double Disruptor production. And until ArT gets a healthy Disruptor count, I don't really see him moving out across the map. So we're just waiting a little bit longer to refine our armies. Spirit going to be the first to move out, is spotted by the Adept. Is scouted ahead of time. And yeah, we'll see when Spirit eventually moves out. I mean, he's about to max. He's about to max out, incorporating more Vikings, +1 ship weapons on the way, 2-2 as well. But I do feel like a lot of it is going to come down to these Disruptors. How well will these connect? Will these Novas connect? Can ArT catch Spirit off guard? At least before Liberators hit the field. Spirit looking to throw away those Cyclones, refining his army. And he's going to get caught out. But Spirit at least does scout the main army, is aware. Will respond. Meanwhile, Zealot harassed towards the natural. Spirit does spot it. Will race back home. And Zealots shouldn't get much done. Yeah, the War Prism is shut down. So they get 3 SCVs. That's okay. And are pushing forward. Oh! Does avoid the mine shots. Takes down 1 Zealot. Spirit going for the stim. Ooh, Novas do go up. A bit of an overreaction there as 3 Novas now on cooldown. ArT has to pull away. It's just a little posturing between our players. ArT taking another expansion. Main army is spotted. Disruptor trying to catch out the main army. ArT is somewhat aware. Yeah, does spot it with the Observer. Trying to keep his army hidden, but unable to. Spirit now aware. But this drop is going to be shut down. Yeah, has to pick up, has to get the hell out of there. At the same time, Spirit is going for bottom left. We might trade a base for a base. Spirit goes to bottom right. And ArT's going for top left. Yeah, tank is going to go down. The CC as well. Nova going off. Oh my god, massive connection on the SCVs. And we're going to keep going. Once again, another base trade? I guess so. I do favor ArT's army in a head-on fight once again. Meanwhile, we're going to keep on pushing. Interesting, ArT does not go for the main. Going for the fringe bases. Novas, they will connect. They take down the mineral line. Planetary does focus down 1 Disruptor. 1 Disruptor does fall. Meanwhile, Spirit busting into the main. Do we recall? The army coming down. Gets a Colossus. Not bad. 1 Colossus does fall. Liberation has arrived. We have freedom. And ArT is in trouble. Now that there are Liberators, we cannot push into the ramp. We cannot push up into the natural. And it's too late to recall at this point. Yeah, too many Marines, too many Marauders. ArT is racing back home. A recall is not an option. Not anymore. Yeah, Forge goes down. +2 is denied. Sorry, +3 defense is denied. You see ArT racing back. Still has plenty of expansions, plenty of mining. And how does ArT try to catch this army? Gets a Viking. Oh. Skin reveals ArT's main force. Spirit can, of course, pick up and try to boost out. ArT trying to read that. Vikings going for the Colossus. Ooh. Doesn't quite get it. Big EMP. Yeah, ArT not paying attention. Stalkers are going down. Massive pickoffs. And Spirit is maxed out. Retaking more bases. With a massive army. And ArT, he needs to fight this before both armies combine. ArT's in a bit of trouble. Cashing a couple of stray units. The Nexus goes down. Medevac's getting caught. ArT down to 1 base mining because bottom left is going to fall as well. Yeah, Liberation has arrived and there just is no answer to Liberators. Prison falls. Nova goes off. Doesn't connect. We do get a better angle. Army stims in. What about the Novas? A bit of miscontrol. 3 disruptors go down, and it looks like ArT, his army crumbles. Yeah, Spirit has done these nobles out of control. This time the base trade going in favor of the Terran. Yeah, just a little bit too chaotic here. Colossus, they just rally into their deaths. Immortal as well. And that army just was not what ArT was looking for. That fight, sorry, was not what ArT was looking for. He was completely shut down. Just a really awkward engagement, and Spirit did successfully get into Liberators. ArT does have mining, does have bases, but doesn't have an army. ArT just doesn't really have much left going on. And Spirit is on 2 bases. DT waddling in, but isn't going to get much done. Yeah, that ArT Templar are a little bit of a Hail Mary play. Another expansion goes down. Main base as well. Main arm collapses on bottom left. And ArT is down to 1 base mining. 1 base economy here for ArT. And just doesn't have much of an army left. Going for a desperation counterattack. Oh god. But even here, can barely hold his own. The Stalkers are punished. Spirit, he knows how far ahead he is. Is breaking out. ArT racing back. It has been building up Immortals, but against Lib Ghost, Immortals are not going to cut it. As freedom has arrived. There's too much freedom. Spirit pushing forward, maxed out. Throwing down more liberation zones. And GG gets called. The main army just cannot be dealt with, and Spirit will tie things up 1-1. We are going to the ace match. GG. GG, well played. A very, very intense back and forth there. Did lead to another base trade, which did go in favor of ArT in game 1. And I was kind of favoring ArT here in game number 2. In a sense, the problem was that ArT could not break the natural, and ArT was unable to break Spirit before Liberation production had begun. And once the Liberators arrived, there was just no way for ArT to push into the main, push into the natural, or even push into the main army. It just was not enough. The one chance that ArT had was trying to catch the army split up. If you remember, the army was cut in 2, and that was maybe the best chance where ArT could try to deal with one half then the other, but it was just unable to catch the army, unable to keep up. GG. GG, well played. Here we go. As we are just making sure we have everyone involved. And it all comes down to this. It all comes down to Alkione. The final map of the series. As a reminder, the other upper bracket matches have yet to commence. We're going to be covering this series, followed by the PvP between Cristiano and Geralt is going to be up next. Bit of a classic Polish PvP, as Cristiano and Geralt have faced off many, many times in the past, and that series could go either way. Meanwhile, the lower bracket matches are currently underway as well. We'll have some updates after the series. We'll have some updates. Otherwise, hope you're enjoying yourselves in the chat. Hope you're enjoying. Third rendition of the H.4.0.S Galactic Battle, and here we go. Spawning in the top right-hand corner of Alkione, we have the red Polish Protoss player representing the Platinum Heroes being forced into the ace match. Can he bring it back? It is ArT. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Terran player from the land of Poland as well, representing Team Na'Vi. It is Spirit. Here we go. Spirit moving out across the map with a cheeky SCV. They're going to be skirting around the edge, avoiding the main scouting path, avoiding the Zelnaga, and I imagine setting up for an eBay block. So cheeky move here from Spirit. Meanwhile, ArT is on the hunt as well. Is scouting with the probe, but he will barely spot the SCV. But did he notice? I don't think he did. SCV does slip in, and the eBay should be thrown down. There's that engineering bay. Just a nice way to disrupt the opener and to, cause some inefficiencies early on. Throwing a wrench in the works in the build of ArT. The probe scout is getting across the map. We know what's going on. And alas, now ArT is aware of what's happening. So much regression on the eBay is almost done. Boys are being pulled. The pylon has been thrown down. And Spirits, he's just going to keep on progressing that eBay a little bit longer, a little bit further. The Zealot has arrived, and this is a big delay in the expansion of ArT. So a strong start for Spirits. Dips in, confirming nothing crazy going on. And ArT can now expand. But again, it's going to be a delayed expansion. He was forced to make a Zealot, forced to pull the boys as well. Spirit looking quite comfortable. Back at home, going for his own expansion. And from here, we can calm things down. We can settle into a longer game state. We'll see what tech ArT does opt to go for. We shall see. From here, ArT might respond with something more aggressive. Twilight Council has been thrown down. Interesting. Now, as a reminder, we have had some different openers so far. Last game, ArT did open up Stargate. He went Stargate into Phoenix Colossus, if you recall. The game before that, we saw ArT embrace Charge a lot faster instead. This time, this should be Blink. And I would not be opposed to ArT going for something like 4K Blink Stalkers to try to turn the tables and try to put Spirit on the back foot. To try to take control away from the Terran. Oh my god. Speaking of, that's a faster TC. Oh my god. Something you rarely see in this matchup. That is a third TC before Starport. And even before the second ranks as well. Now, if ArT were to go for 4-gate Blink, 100% ArT could punish this. He should punish this. If not, Spirit is going to get out of hand and out of control. It's a very greedy build here by Spirit. For the time being, Blink is on the way, and that is only 2 gateways for the time being as well. ArT is making that War Prism. May opt to commit, may opt to move out. I'm hoping he does, but we'll see. keep an eye on our players. There we go. We have 1 extra gate on the way. So 3 gates in total. That's a little bit better. And I mean, 3 gateways can try to punish this. Can dip in. As I say that though, the bunker is done. First tank has arrived. Just 1 tank. Okay, only 1 tank to defend. ArT is moving out. Initially with only 2 stalkers. Keeping the rest back at home. As he is moving out and taking a 3rd. Yeah, so ArT, he's expanding. He's keeping most stalkers at home to defend. ArT is going to dip in and won't be able to get much done here. Has a handful of stalkers to catch Marines, maybe some SCVs here and there. But Spirit should be safe and sound. Likewise, tank is in position. Stalkers, they get up. Oh my god, 1 SCV. They get 1. That's okay. they do get 1 worker. But alas, I am concerned now for ArT. Spirit has gone away with the fast 3rd. He's making 3 SCVs at a time. Will soon take his own 3rd base. And Spirit is looking to snowball out of control in the mid game. The mid game is going to be crazy for Spirit once he gets his 3rd base up and running. Until that does occur, in case ArT rallying more stalkers across the map, checking his vision. He did not spot the CC. Is in the dark. As stalkers, they hit the natural. Getting another worker. Oof. Yeah, ArT gets punished. Stalker goes down. We have our splash damage of choice. ArT is going into Storm. Storm, charge, +1. It's going to be a gateway heavy composition. Once again, very similar to game 1. Very similar. But this time, Spirit, he's looking quite healthy here in this economy. 54 workers so far, plus mules. And again, this worker count is soon going to skyrocket ahead. Spirit's breaking out. At least attempting to. Going for drop play. And it's still going to be another minute or so where Spirit's economy is really going to just skyrocket out of control. I mean, you can already see it in the supplies. Spirit does have a 30 supply lead. And it should get even larger than that. So just trying to keep up. Spirit going for a drop on the right. Likewise, being active with his army on the left. See, Spirit can break out. It's the 4th. Getting a pylon. Heads towards the main. Spirit's still yet to pull the trigger. Getting a 4 CC, getting into Ghost production. Vikings as well. Spirit's still building up. The storms are coming in. The storm is okay. Not ideal. So drop does come back in, going for the 3rd base. Oh my god. Thankfully, ArT does deny the drop. Does keep up. Does keep up so far. Spirit looking to break out. We have a second robo on the way. ArT getting ready for disruptors. But ArT needs more time. As we're going for it, we're going for the EMP. Oh my god! The EMP drop! Spirit gets it. No more storms. No more storms for ArT. And without storms, Spirit, he can break through this. can and he will try. Stimming on forward. Takes down the shield battery. Doesn't commit yet. Waiting for reinforcements. Waiting for 2 more ghosts for another EMP. Sometimes 1 EMP is all it takes. So Stimmin once again going for the Nexus. EMP does connect. And the Nexus goes down. The 4th base falls. And Spirit, he can just stim on forward. Zealots will cause a bit of an issue. They do a great job buffering. But the Immortal goes down. Nice kiting here from Spirit. Another EMP on the Archon as well. Now there's only Blink Stalkers. Spirit has traded very well. Doesn't keep going. Pulls away. Warp Prism into the main. Going for a massive warp in. And the warp in will finish. Just barely. Spirit doesn't complete. Oh, the Disruptor! No! Disruptor goes down. ArT overextending. And the main base is being cleaned up. Meanwhile, here at the 4th or at the 3rd, tries to keep going. But just barely cannot. Again, ArT lost his High Templar, lost his Archons. He's relying on mainly Disruptors at this point. And if the Novas don't connect, it's not going to end out well here for ArT. Another big EMP. The Nova! Not a bad connection. Not bad. But again, Spirit hoping for more. Rotating over. Doesn't seem to rotate. ArT, he's holding on. He's holding, he's surviving. And what I will say is that ArT can take a fight, especially with these Disruptors. 1 or 2 good Novas is all that ArT needs. Novas going off, zoning away the army. There's still 2 more Novas behind this. Now 1. So Nova does not quite connect. The last Nova goes off, doesn't connect either. But ArT does hold. Meanwhile, Spirit getting up to 4 bases, now getting a 5th. An even economy here is always a greater thing or a better thing for the Terran. So economically, ArT is falling behind, and Spirit, he's maxed. Spirit, he's maxed out. Here, the supply does not lie. And again, outside of some crazy Purification Novas, it's going to be difficult here for ArT. We need those Novas, Pappy. Novas going off, Spirit does respond, pulling away. Finding another Disruptor. Stims in! He wants it! Doesn't get it. We'll get the expansion though. That's a kill, not a cancel! It's 400 minerals down the drain. ArT rotating over. They're catching 1 Marauder. Novas once again going off, not quite connecting, bit of friendly fire. A better connection this time from ArT. Not bad. And as ArT is trading with the main army, we have a fleet beacon on the way, we have a Stargate as well, we're getting ready for Sky Toss. I mean, that's a good way to try to avoid and try and get out of this kind of game state, to rush into Sky Toss. But before Sky Toss, we have Liberators. Liberators are amassing back at home. Freedom soon to arrive. The scan into the main. The scan reveals the fleet beacon. Spirit is aware. He knows he's on a timer. He knows he has to end it before Sky Toss arrives. Novas go up. Decent connections. But still expensive trades here for ArT. Leaving out a lot of units. Another Nova goes up. Buying time. The flanking Nova doesn't quite connect though. And Rovers are going down. Spirit pushing on forward. Liberation has arrived. We have freedom coming in. The bay goes down. No more disruptors. No robo either. And before ArT can embrace Skytoss, Spirit, he goes for the kill. He goes for the throat, gets 17 probe kills, 18 probes, and counting. 19 worker kills in total. And Spirit, he just doesn't stop. He keeps going, but gets another expansion. Reinforcements on the way. Liberation is coming. And again, it was just a bit of a rougher game, a rougher start for ArT. Game 1 and Game 2 were much closer, but here in Game 3, Spirit is looking much more comfortable, much more in form. And Spirit now is going for the right-hand bases, for the most important mining bases here of ArT. Liberators do overextend. 1, 2, 3 Liberators go down. There's one left, but there's barely a standing ground army. GG gets called. There's just not enough on the ground. And Spirits will take the series 2-1. GG. GG, well played. Spirit will claim the series here. Again, it was a very intense, very back and forth Game 1 and Game 2. Base trades all around, but here in Game 3, Spirit, he was just in control almost from the very beginning, especially with that fast third. Basically, because Spirit rushed into a fast third base, because it was not punished, Spirit, his economy snowballed out of control, barely lost anything in these counterattacks, in these run-bys. The Zealots, they didn't get much done. And Spirit, he was able to reach his final form well ahead of the Protoss. Congratulations. Congratulations to Spirit, as he will make it into the next round. And the question becomes, who will face off against Spirit? We have our next series getting ready. It's going to be a PvP between Christiana and Geralt. They are getting ready. And we will soon be jumping into that. Before that, of course, we're going to have a short break. We're going to have a break here. Our players, they do need some time to set up on the stage and set up in front of the crowd. Shout out to Spirit, of course, for bringing it back. And yeah, we'll be back soon with the next upper bracket quarterfinals. See you soon.